Hey guys, both sides of the line, episode 35, done remotely. Unfortunately, I hate this concept, but anyway, it is what it is. There's an analogy we hate. Azza, how are you, champion? We're back. What's going on? Obviously not much, but, or maybe I should ask the other question. Hey, Kobe, mate.
G'day, mate. It's good to be back on with you at least. I get to see your face, albeit digitally, so that's okay. I can deal with that a little bit. I'm going okay, mate. Lockdown 6.0, isn't it?
Crazy.
So I guess it's frustrating. It's been frustrating, but I actually have found, and I was talking about this with Beck the other night, that I found this one easier than lockdown number 5. I don't know why. I think it was, I can't really reason with that too much, but maybe it was more or less when lockdown number 5 came about, I was probably not expecting any more lockdowns to really come ahead. And now that we're in lockdown number 6, I'm okay. I'm just rolling with it, to be honest. But I'm doing it better than a heap of other people out there. So, my thoughts go out to those that are doing it tough, especially, people like yourself, Daz, small business, and especially those hospitality industries and whatnot who are sort of, trying to plan their businesses week to week. I mean, we hear 7-day lockdown. If it is going to be longer, I think maybe we should, it should just come out, the powers that be should just come out and say it, because, if you're in the hospitality industry, for example, you're ordering produce or whatnot, you're trying to plan ahead, it's hard. It'd be incredibly hard to live week to week and then get a week down the road and then it's turned upside down on you again. That's probably the thing that I really think about for people that are out there struggling, and as well as those that aren't working for whatever reason through this. So it's an incredibly difficult time, I think, mate. Yeah. I don't know what your thoughts are around it. I'm sure you've got a few, mate. I'll just say you look very comfortable in the studio there too, mate, by the way.
Yeah, look, to be fair, how do I feel? I don't know. I mean, I've had a lot of people reach out to me and ask me how you feeling or how you coping, and I said, I don't know. I have mixed feelings.
Yeah.
I'm not a supporter of what's going on, but I do understand we've got to try and get some sort of resolve, and whether that right way is, I don't know. I'm not a scientific expert. I'm just a blue collar worker who just does what he does.
Yeah.
But I'm hurt. But I also see the guys that are open who shouldn't be open, but they have to be open because of their classification, and they're hemorrhaging by just being open.
Yeah, right.
I feel so. There's businesses that are opening that probably should be shut because this is not viable, but they're probably going to miss out on the grants. So there's a whole. It comes down to what category you're in. Is it right? Is it the wrong category? Did you pick the right category when you applied for it? Yep. Some people are getting it easier than others. Some people are building nest eggs off it. It's crazy. So I don't know how I feel. I feel okay today. I come to work on a regular. I'm allowed to, so just everyone knows I'm allowed to be here.
So you know you're not breaking any rules.
Because it's not as if I can't do it from home. So I'm doing maintenance and a bit of stuff around here that can't be done from home. So while I'm here, I'll do a podcast. But I've just been trying to create habits, mate. An illusion that I come to work, I get up, I falsify what I'm doing, but I am chipping away at doing things. I'm predominantly here by myself. Someone might come in if we're doing the hoodies, which we're waiting on the delivery, but we've done some hoodie orders. We've got them going, but we're shut. I feel okay, but I'm concerned about the future, not just for us, but for many small businesses. And actually, all businesses, all home lives, all jobs. I'm talking about maybe we should take away the word small business because everyone's been impacted. Big, small. Well, not everyone. Someone making a shitload of money out of this, to be fair, like your supermarkets and Bunnings, but won't go down that path.
That's true too. Yeah.
But it's more the family businesses that have built something, and maybe if you're an investor into a super fund that you self-funded into property, and what happens to that? Is it commercial, industrial? Is it viable anymore? Is it worth having? Can you sell it? Can you? The future's bleak for many people, mate, who may not be hurting right now, but mate, I'm going to hate to see where they're going to be in a year or 2 years' time, mate. I really am. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I was I've got a few colleagues that I work with who are up in Sydney, for example, right now. So they're going through essentially what we as Victorians went through 12 months ago, in terms of no real sort of end in sight, and it's an interesting sort of thing where you could see and you'll hear anecdotally that people are just out there flaunting the rules that they're trying to put in place up there. And you can debate, has the government done the right thing up there, etc. But there's that element of, by looks of it, of just disbelief around having to try and do the right thing so they can get out of their lockdown quicker. And to be honest, it looks like they're going to be in it for the long haul like we were, which is not ideal. But it just makes me think, I wonder how much knowledge sharing actually happens across our country at different levels to try and, I guess, navigate, the very long COVID tail that it is. Whereas, just share the learnings and try and, navigate through things and try and have a normal sort of way of life come together down the track. And it just seems like, in speaking with people who do live in different states, that's probably not quite happening, which I find when I think about it big picture, and maybe I'm thinking too optimistically, that we're not doing that. It just seems strange to me.
Well,
maybe I'm overthinking it or thinking it too simplistic.
True. We're not the same. We're not one. We're not together. We're not banding together to create something with a similar outcome or same outcome. It's us and them mentality. It's me and you. I'm right, you're wrong. All these, no one wants to follow. If I have a disagreement with the rule, I don't want to follow it, so I'm going to go down my own little path. So we're not working together. We're not gelling together. We're not banding together. Where there's a massive separation in the community, and not just two halves. It's in different quadrants.
Like
the national anthem. I thought we are one. We are many. We are Australian.
Free.
Well, you know what? Sort of throw that in the bin because that's not us anymore. So there goes that mentality. Tasmania's impressed me. I know they're like a own little recluse place.
Yeah.
But I never realised until someone said to me that Melbourne and Sydney are international airports, so they're the ones that get hit the hardest. And the other states are a little bit, but then Tasmania, I know they can control who comes and goes, but someone over there and told me that they're following the rules together. So if you go into a business, you will scan in. If you will wear a mask, there is no debates and fights and I'm better than you and I'm not going to do it because it's my freedom. They're just trying to do it together, and they've had not one COVID case in 12 months.
Isn't that amazing? That's probably a great case study for the rest of the country, if not the rest of the world, who are grappling with this at the moment, isn't it, mate?
Why are we not? All jokes aside, I've asked people, does Tasmania still exist? Because we don't hear about them.
No, they just go about their
business. People there, who are from Victoria live up there and enjoy themselves, so they should if they can.
Yeah.
Tasmania, mate. Well, I've got no drums to say, you know what? Why would I want to live in such a busy state now? If this is how it's going to be, I might as well find somewhere else to move and relocate because I want simple life now, mate. I want quality. I want simple. I want quality, and I want to enjoy, and I want mental stimulation. I don't. This is just tearing us apart. Maybe I'm feeling shit. I'm just not promoting it. I'm trying to be supportive of everyone else. We've got a lot of people we've got to worry about here. But, mate, what an absolute mess. And I mean on both sides, government and the community together. It's a mess all around. It's not just one way. It's a two-way street here, mate. It's a mess everywhere. And we've all contributed or partly contributed in some way for this to be a bigger battle than I think it needs to be. That's all I'm saying on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and the thing that overarches everything that you just spoke about is the misinformation across so many different fronts. It's just we haven't helped ourselves there at all. So hopefully that cleans up over the next little bit.
Absolutely. So, in fact, let's say political is out the window now. We know we're all in the same storm. It's the background. We're in a storm. That's how I feel. That's why I put a storm background.
Yeah.
So, what's going on, mate? Basketball. What's going on there? Or sport? I mean, do we think we're going to complete seasons? We're going to finish them? I don't understand making a finals campaign if teams don't get the chance to qualify properly and evenly and fairly. I'm a bit lost on what would be right and wrong. I coach. If we stop now, my team's in the finals, I'm happy. But I feel for the teams that didn't get to fight or challenge in the same way. Who you played, who didn't play, the games you missed, the games you could have got.
Yeah.
How can this work evenly and fairly for us to complete a season with a finals format?
Mate, short answer, I don't know. I'm in the same boat as you in that regard a little bit. We've fortunately done enough to secure what would be a final spot. given the lack of games that have been the games that have been lost over the last little bit now. So there's no sort of way that we would drop out of that race if we were to, pick that up tomorrow, which I doubt is obviously going to happen. I'm of the view, given we missed out last year, I'd love to be able to have teams play finals. But to your point, I do agree to some degree there that some teams that have probably not had the run of wins or whatnot and have found themselves just sitting outside of that final space. I feel
at no fault of their own because of who they may have come up against. Because
yeah,
I could have played the top sides twice. I could have played the bottom sides twice.
Yeah,
there's
no integrity in the competition.
No.
It hasn't been even or that sort of way. So it wouldn't be fair across the board. But given what was lost last year, I'm pretty keen. This is my view to push on with a final series in September if we can get there. Where are we? We're mid-August now, nearly. So in 2 weeks, get to September. Hopefully restrictions ease and finals able to be played for the teams that have in suitable positions. And when I think about it, you can do it a little bit easier because you're not requiring full use of a facility, are you, in terms of the stadium capacity? Does that make sense? You're not having the same volume of games being played. You're essentially halving all of that so you can have you could space out courts, people, that sort of thing. So maybe it is possible to do it that way this time around. I don't know. But it all depends on how the government goes over the next few weeks, doesn't it, mate?
This is both sides of the line. You and me are in the right position so we can say, well, we're not in the team that's in the below par. So we can actually speak. I'm going to speak on the other side.
All right, speak to the other side. Debate with me.
I'm not saying they can't make it. I'm trying to encourage these kids to maintain focus, engagement, commitment, accountability, all the things that we're trying to preach right now on social media. How do I explain to a child or a team, this is not normal circuit? I'm sorry, guys, you're not going to get the same opportunity as the others. They're going to play final. See you later. Season done. You're out. You now got to worry about next year. How do we explain that to the coaches who worked hard to get to where they are? Again, I don't want to hear from anyone that, well, that team's down the bottom for a reason. Well, not necessarily, because we don't know who they played.
Yeah.
How many times they played them?
Yeah.
The mismatch, all that stuff, home games, away games, all that stuff, right? The balance. I just don't get how we can mentally say it's okay if we really genuinely care about the mental health and well-being of commitment ongoing. I have an idea. Maybe we can have this 10 teams in the pool. 1 plays 10, 2 plays 9, 3 plays 8. Knock it out.
Just straight elimination. But then
if you are generally a 10th team, you most likely won't beat the first team. If you are generally a second team, just do it. And you know what? At least we say we've given you a fair chance. It's that one go, which is more, let's just give it all we have. It might give that more upbeat attitude where every game matters. Break it down, knock out comp, get down to the last 2. It can be done in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah. Look, fair call. That raises the stakes, though, doesn't it? That anything can happen. And
that's the idea. But anything can happen. Be prepared and ready. If you're good enough, you'll win it.
You're spot on. But then you think about it, the teams that are maybe have done the hard yards and earned that top sort of spot, should they be entitled to a double chance as the way that system usually works? Let's
put it to you. Has the top team generally earned the top spot under these circumstances?
It's probably 50-50, mate. There's some teams that probably haven't lost the game, I'm going to guess. And you'd say, well, clearly they're the yardstick.
Well, we're second on the ladder, and we have not played the top 2 sides once.
Yeah. So really, are you second? Yeah.
That's my point. So here I am, spruiking a situation that I can actually think I can be strongly for because I'm in the situation. We have not played the top 2 sides, not even once. And we should have played 4 games, 2 of each. Where another team has played those teams 2 each, 4 times, and lost 4 times.
Yeah.
So I don't believe the top side has earned it.
Well,
with the amount of games played and the circumstances I don't think anyone's earned it. No one's earned it.
Yeah, that's a fair call too. You can argue both ways for days.
Both sides lie, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now. This is great thunders and hey. Actually, I've only. Nah, that's the wrong button. I need a thunderstorm button here. Is there a thunderstorm button? Nah. No, we're
You're out of
laughing. No,
practice there,
wrong one.
mate.
No,
No.
I know what I'm pressing.
You're about to just break it.
Actually, it won't stop. Please stop. And now we're laughing at it. I know what's going on. So I have all these buttons that I don't know. I think one of them needs to be a thunderstorm. But anyway, wrong buttons. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Or a boo button. Boo. Anyway.
But that's just me. That's just me putting an idea out there that I just don't think. I think we've got to be very, very careful. And I know we can say resilience and,
I think people are over those words, mate.
Yeah, we've discussed all that. Mate, all I want is a concept that's fair and even. So we all come out there saying we had the opportunity or we had the chance because we did choose to commit and play the game that we love the most.
Whichever way you look at it, you're not going to have it even, mate. You're going to be able to argue both ways on it forever and a day. So
I don't want even. I want fair.
Well, I don't think there's going to be such a thing as fair, really, as well, mate.
Yeah, I think they should think about it. I don't want this, just say okay, it's going to now be top 4 or top 2, or it is what it is. I just, please, due diligence, guys, have a think about it. Let's work out how we can look at all angles and see how we can make all these kids get the opportunity to have that moment, because we all lost last year. We all lost last year.
Yeah.
We've all lost this year. Let's just give something we all have a fair, equal playing field. So you know what? Let's give them an opportunity. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And if it comes down to, I think, a capacity and volume of people in a stadium, you could have some teams play on the Friday, some teams play on the Sunday, space out the games, whatever it is, so you can maybe get through some sort of playoff round of games.
It can be done.
It can be done. There's plenty of facilities. Just a matter of properly investing the time into planning and trying to coordinate it, I think.
Well, I'd rather run.
That's my criticism.
I'd rather do a 1 week training night and a Sunday game, because we're training anyway. So it's a commitment we've already committed to, is a Sunday training. So you know what? Yeah. Turn to a game, bring the competitive edge back. Friday we play 1 week training, because 2 nights trains are going to make a difference.
No, not really.
No.
Not really this business end of the season, and like we said, it's finals, and then we're nearly on the eve of preparing for next season already. There's coaching announcements and coaching appointments going around for the VJBL season for 2022 already. So, mate, it's one of those ones where I think let's just crack on, play the games, and get everyone as best opportunity as we can. That's for sure. Yeah.
What now? Let's just go another. Potential. The season stopped. We won't finish it. Start again. When do we start to realise that we can still change to odd numbers and save a year?
That's right. You took the words out of my mouth, mate. I was about to say that for 2022.
I ripped them right out. I can see you thinking in that cloud. I took them right out of your mouth, mate.
You did, mate. And we spoke about this a few times already, but
we save a year.
We've lost essentially whole of last year, most of this year. Let's just do it. Now is the best time to change things up and not just persist with the same old. I absolutely agree with that. It helps recapture a year, so to speak. So you're sort of keeping these groups sort of together. It just makes sense to me to do it. And obviously, I think the other thing with that now is the reason why it probably didn't happen last year is because Victoria was essentially the only state affected. Now we've got Queensland and New South Wales affected by and large. So they're not playing games either. So now's probably the time to change, if that makes sense, mate.
Well, and in theory, I mean, I understand maybe you could, but we don't need tryouts, mate. Same teams, same concept. Start going into development phase, not tryout phase. Yeah. And now to rate where I'm back to trying out again. You know what? We're settled. We're set. We've changed the numbers. The teams don't need to change. You still got one grading phase. We might say, okay, we'll give you a chance in grading in the grading phase 1 to still move your players around, which is what it was designed for. So you can still say, let's go with the same teams, but we can mix and match after grading phase 1, which is what the concept was designed for.
Yeah. And look, the other thing that could be messy, just thinking, is if players do want to move clubs for various reasons, that might be a little bit difficult. I don't know. Coaches.
I don't think you should. Well, that's another thing. We try and don't move clubs. You're not allowed to. Carries on. Just carries on. 1 year, it just carries on. Yeah, because it makes sense. Because you can't say, "Oh, I'm going to leave a club," because mate, you really get a chance to spend time in that club.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, some people would. Mate, don't worry about that. But
no,
yeah.
that's probably easy because you don't know the
Agree.
reasons why. You don't know the reasons why people need to leave, but it
Yeah.
can be an easier transition over. But that's just us putting it out there, mate. Both sides of the line. See what happens.
Both sides of the line. But
Good luck.
if Basketball Australia or Basketball Victoria want to talk to us, they can come to us at any time, mate.
Well, I'm pretty confident it's not going to ring. I don't know why, Aaron. I'm not really sure why they won't reach out to us.
People are scared of you, mate. That's why.
Nah, they're not scared of me. I just have this feeling that maybe we're just different organisations.
Two different.
Different directions, different purposes, different outcomes. But
yeah,
I'm happy to work along with anyone if we generally care about what we're doing.
Yep, absolutely, mate. Now, let's shift gears. Obviously, we missed last week, but it was probably because we had very little to talk about, mate. But I wanted to talk about probably let's talk about the Olympics, because I think there was 2 weeks of amazing competition, mate. Would you agree? In terms of, I think we were starved of it, obviously missing last year and having it Tokyo pushed back a year. What was your takes out of it?
To be fair, mate, there's some things that I was watching. I felt for the Opals. I was impressed by the Boom. Well, the Opals.
Let's focus on the Opals first. We'll talk about the Boomers in a sec.
I don't want to go into the reasons why, because I don't know the story and I'm not here to judge. But when you lose your biggest main player who has a massive presence and can dominate the inside game, withdraws 2 weeks out of their campaign when they've been building that style of play for however long, that's been their structure, that's been their go-to, and it takes pressure off the shooters, and you got the inside-outside game, you can mix and match. Once her presence was taken, there was a lot of pressure down on the roles, and they had to change their game style, which you could see was struggling to adapt, to get the inside penetration, to kick it to the shoes, and the guards were trying to penetrate, they were trying to shoot, the bigs were trying to do what they could do under their circumstances without that big presence helping. I'm going to give the Opals credit on that game. They won by 25 to make it to the quarter. Unfortunately, they get them out of the US, who are massive. They copped China in their pool, who were 3, look like 7-footers, take one off and 2 more, just walk back on. They'd be like, this is just crazy. I'm going to have to say that what they did in that game showed culture, resilience, preservation, engagement, commitment, connection, togetherness. Unfortunately, the next game was against the USA.
I agree with that.
I feel for them. I know they could have done better, but I think their journey was impacted by a scenario of it's like taking your engine out of taking the V8 out of a sports car and putting a 4-cylinder in there, mate. It's just like it's not going to run the same.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge impact. No question about that. I couldn't believe a little bit the people. Again, keyboard warriors. I actually took particular interest in looking at comments online that were directed towards the Opals and the coaching staff there. I couldn't quite understand some of the comments that were levelled at the coaching in particular. Like you said, you take away your best player who's such a crucial part of your system or your style of play, to able to adapt inside 2 weeks against teams that have been essentially training or practicing up and probably haven't had the disruption. I found that absolutely staggering. You can always argue for days, should people have played better at different times? There's always that. Even if you were winning, there's always that. So,
Yeah, but some of these people who have these archer experts, mate, have never done it, never come close to it. They've coached domestic basketball at their highest level, and all they've done is watch TV and can judge from the sidelines. But even
people that at a high level as well.
Yeah, but some of them
I think maybe it's more or less about trying to promote their own names.
Yeah, they got connections. Yeah, they want to bring I get it. There's a lot of politics, but I just don't think Opal's got enough just deserve of credit for the situation, because in women's basketball, it's not athletic ability. I could have a small side, but it could out-jump a 7-foot player. They don't have the agility or that vertical ability that we have. I don't, because I'm not very agile, but you're not getting that. The style of play is different, right? So the women's game is a structured game. It's not such a transition, fast, athletic, jump, get and go, and it's different. So that's a massive loss. Now, if you lose a Bogut in the Australian men's team, Baines, he can be a warrior and out hustle, and you can bring the the Longdales in to do a bit of, big. They can play and work around that somehow and create that style of play.
Yeah.
Women's basketball, I don't think was appreciated what they achieved, and I'm fascinated that I haven't read enough about them. It's all about the Boomers, which great job for the Boomers. Another conversation, but Opals, great job under the circumstances. Could we have done better? We'd love you to have done better. You've done well in the last decade or more. You've done well for the female presence in basketball.
Yeah.
You did it tough. You tried to fight it out, and I'm going to say congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the future's bright there too. There's so many young female athletes that are going to come through the Opal system in the next few years in the lead up to Paris for the Olympics there. I think the future's exciting. Don't write them off, that's for sure. The Boomers, mate.
Wow. To be fair,
give us your thoughts, mate. Give us your thoughts.
First. Okay, what? I got a bit sidetracked because I'm sidetracked. I actually got a bit of a fascination by Slovenia before they got to that bronze game.
I think everyone was blown away by Slovenia and what Luka did in those first couple of games. I think he clearly ran out of gas and clearly maybe a little bit banged up too.
Yeah, and injured, but also the way he was able to create the separation of spacing, the double team, but the way his players, it reminded me of the Perth Wildcats. Their system allowed all players to work together as a collective group cohesively, right? I know that they relied on Luka, but he had great vision, great smarts, the shooters, the bigs. They were a very well-connected team, I thought, until they disappointed me in the bronze game because their attitude changed, it shifted, they were frustrated, and it really started to show, the wheels started to fall off. Australia, on the other hand, that's a pressure game. They've lost how many times they've come forth, could have gone the other way. Patty Mills, inspiration. Patty Mills, amazing. What you do on the court, off the court, what you stand for, what your values are. I think that is a standard that you should all look for and strive for. We put that in post on TS.
Yeah.
Archer experts, you're all saying Ingles is too old. And well, guess what? They helped get us there. They were the IQ, the gel behind the scene. Let's not undervalue what certain players did. Absolutely.
The culture guys are massive.
Yeah, and then Gorgon gave the youngsters the change. He made the changes. Okay, whether Dellavedova took it so well that his minutes went from this to that. Then they brought Thibault in. He made some adjustments. Everyone supported the adjustments. Everyone got around the decisions, and they were pretty damn good, especially in that second half. But Patty Mills, mate, I got goosebumps. Good job, Patty. What about your thoughts, Az?
It was unbelievable.
Hey, Azza, we're freezing at the moment. You're freezing, mate.
Ideal.
Not sure what's going on. Azza, can you hear me? All right, guys. Azza is frozen. So when he gets back on, I might just hey, Azza, you there? You there, Aaron?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Sorry. You went frozen. We saw your face for way too long. I was going to have to put something over it. You weren't talking. Your mouth was wide open. You were catching flies. Nothing was being said. So thoughts on the Boomers. What are your thoughts?
Yep. So the culture guys, Paddy, Joe, Dally, absolutely huge, mate. Instrumental. But you don't get a bronze medal without your role players. And I want to just call out Dante Exum, for example. Huge throughout and got better as the games went on, and which is understandable given how much basketball he's missed over the last 18 months in particular.
And he copped a lot of criticism too, which was unjust because of his injuries and the scenarios and unfair.
How much of an X factor was he at different points in the game? You talk about moments, big moments from Dante to impact the game. And the other one was Matisse Thybulle, who only grew in stature as the games went on. Huge. He's my wife's favourite player by far. She's a 76ers fan. Don't ask her about Ben, but ask her about Matisse, who's an absolute jet. But you had the great support from Landale, who has only increased his own credentials, and it's great he's going to the NBA as well. It's unbelievable. So a great team effort. The young guys who probably didn't quite get on in Reith and Green, waving the towel and absolutely so vocal and supportive from the bench at all times. Unbelievable. Even from the US game, I don't know if you heard Gorgon's interview about how they address the US loss. Going back to the culture and the values of being Australian, and when you get punched in the mouth, how much it speaks to your character about how you just spring right back up and get on with it and show that grit and determination. So huge thumbs up. You couldn't be more proud as a basketball person watching the Boomers. Absolutely.
Yeah, spot on. And you know what? And if they had lost that game against Slovenia, if Slovenia had been really stronger, I would have said, you know what, still tick, bronze or no bronze. But they got the bronze, amazing first medal.
Yeah.
But I'll raise Slovenia, so a good win. Either or, I would have been happy.
And to lose Baines also had an impact. I mean, Landale and Kay, my gosh, they played huge throughout the tournament after Baines went down. So much pressure on them, and they absolutely delivered in spades, both of them.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Hey, good stuff, Australia. I want to say something about the American team, if you don't mind.
They've been talking the US basketball team,
USA
the men's?
team, the men's, right? So I've always been saying, and this is not to downgrade every other team, other countries, right? The American team didn't put their best team on the floor. Okay, I'm just going to say that there. You there, Azza? You're frozen again. All right, he's gone again. Aaron is frozen, so I'm not sure. Aaron doesn't pay his internet bill, so a bit of freezing here. Technology is crumbling under COVID-19. I'm not sure if you're back, Aaron. Are you back?
Yep, I'm back. Can you hear me?
We lost you again. So I'll tell you what.
Just keep talking, mate. Just keep talking. I'll drop in and out.
There's no way I'd let them send me to the moon if they can't even get internet working in. You're frozen again. He's gone. So, guys, we might pull a pin on this interview if it goes more. He's gone. So, anyways, while I'm on my own, just a bit of a highlight that. Oh, hang on, he's back.
Is that better?
Yeah, but if it happens again, we'll pull the pin as because it just keeps freezing, mate.
That's all right.
We'll give it one more chance. If it happens again, we'll just pull it and we'll start again, maybe. You got me now?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So as well as saying with the USA team, this is not a downgrade to every other countries. America didn't have their best side on the floor. They could have put multiple different sides in. They copped harsh treatment because they lost exhibition games. But I'll tell you what, when it mattered, they stepped up, they did their job, and I'm surprised the negative feedback they got when they're losing exhibition games. That the Americans are no longer, the gap's closing. Well, they proved some points in some strong games to say, hey, we're here, and if we want to bring more players in, we can.
Absolutely.
I'm a bit gobsmacked when we really are so hard on the USA. They're the best. They're amazing. That's why we play the NBA. It's the best league in the world. That's what we all strive for. That's what we dream of. Why are we so hard on the USA when they bring a second-tier team in, lose an exhibition game, but when the games mattered, and they lost one game to France, it didn't matter. It wasn't the gold medal game, but they won the gold. So I'm a bit gobsmacked by all the views, all the thoughts, and how we're closing the gap.
Yeah.
Bring Steph Curry in, bring LeBron James in, bring whoever else you want in, and let's just see where the gap truly is at. Is that what we're trying to invite? I don't think so. Let's just say, great job, USA. The team put together. You represent your country well and the NBA well, and the rest of the countries, you also did an amazing job. Let's just not forget how good certain teams are and how good certain players are. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you, mate. They put the foot down when it mattered. It takes time to gel with those guys as much as they're superstars and so talented. Exhibition games don't matter for those guys. It's about getting rhythm and familiarity with playing with each other because they're always against each other. So it makes sense. Never, ever read into exhibition games, in my opinion. Not too much, unless you're getting blown out by 50, which isn't really happening.
But you still can because it may not be you just want to try and find. Like,
but it's
some of those players came straight from the NBA final. One guy, 24 hours, was only there 24 hours and played 3.
So we had Drew Holiday, you had Chris Middleton, you also had Devin Booker come into the team who just come off of their final series there. And all 3 of them were huge for them. Big difference.
So nothing against other countries and teams. I always want to make it, let's just understand reality.
Yeah.
The USA won the gold. And I don't see many people doing this anymore.
Nah,
So,
they've all the keyboard warriors there, mate. They've all shut up. That's for sure.
yeah. So anyway, but all round, I love the Olympics. I actually got fascinated by a few things. What are your thoughts on the high jump when they agreed to take the gold?
I thought that was an absolutely magical moment.
Yeah,
I don't think that's ever happened before as well. Total respect amongst each other there for the athletes involved. I thought that was really special. I was glad I actually got to see something like that live. So that was unbelievable.
I was watching it. It was a match. Sorry, I didn't swear. But there was a debate saying that shouldn't happen. It takes away the whole idea of winning. It's like, come on, these guys, what they were doing and how long they were doing it for, and mate, what a good way to say, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's just share this one. We've done enough.
Absolutely.
It's not a normal way we just did it for 1 hour. I want to, get out easy. No, they thought about it. They looked into it, and not once did I see a hesitation on either person. No, they both embraced it
straight away, wasn't it?
And I didn't realize. One thing I learned is I didn't realize how many of these athletes guys spend a lot of time together.
They actually, do.
They're friends. They sometimes they share training facilities. They train together just because they've got no other choices. It's a little bit of a family culture. I was impressed, mate. I was impressed.
Absolutely. There was something similar in the men's marathon too. The two place getters, silver and bronze, the guy who was going to get silver urged one of the competitors on to come with him, who was from another country, and get that bronze medal. So that was amazing as well to see that camaraderie. That was something that really stood out to me this Olympic Games. And maybe it's because of what the world has been through over the last 18 months to 2 years with COVID, that these people have banded together. Although competing, they've still got a high level of camaraderie, which was unbelievable to watch. That stood out to me all games.
And we've got to remember too, I think we discussed this last time, we don't know what they're going through. Yeah, I know they look like they're on TV, they're enjoying life and the world's at their, got the world at their feet. They haven't. They've probably mentally been challenged just to get to that moment.
Yeah.
And then once that moment's over, like I think Usain Bolt said, I trained 4 years for a 9-second job.
Yeah, that's right, isn't it?
With different words.
Insane when you think about it.
Yeah, I don't know what the quote was, but that's a concept, right? It makes sense. He trained 4 years for a 9-second concept, or 9-point-whatever-second concept. As has gone again, he's freezing. When we get him back, we might just sum things up. We don't want to just stop short. But yeah, with the Olympics guys, for me personally, I think it was a great thing to happen. Good timing for us to watch it and be engaged due to all that's going on around us. It's tough times, but I think it was amazing. Hey, Azza, can you hear me now?
Am I back? Yeah, I can hear you, mate.
So what we'll do is we'll probably start to finish off some stuff, and just so we don't want to cut it short. We lost him again. Look at the smile. He's frozen with this big smile. He has no idea. Oh, I could use you as a dart. This is a dartboard. I could just, that was just an enticing dartboard then. Look at that smile.
Am I back now, mate?
Yeah, you're back.
All
what
right.
I might do, Azza, because
we might wrap it up, eh?
It's been good, I think.
Yep.
But anyway, your thoughts, how you feeling? Are you okay? All good?
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, all good. Sorry for the tech difficulties at my end. I'll make sure that I pay the bill next time, unless the NBN's got COVID as well. Who knows? Jesus Christ.
Like I said, mate, I would not let them send me to the moon if they can't get internet working. That's just crazy, mate. It's just supposed to be a simple concept. But this is another problem. We rely on this so much. This is how quick it can hurt us. Frozen, locked out, shut down, no system.
Yeah.
It should create a lot of awareness about how much we rely on so much, to be fair. That's just an example.
Absolutely. Absolutely, mate.
All right. Well, this will be a short one, but we'll do another one next week. There is a rumour that this is going to be extended again. Strong rumour. Let's just see how that goes and pans out. But we will do another next week, no matter what, whether emotionally right, mentally right, or not mentally right. We'll do another one next week and just see where we're all at.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good, mate. We'll speak soon, hey?
All right, guys, we are out for a short one because Aaron does not pay his bill. So until he does, we're screwed. All right, guys, love you. Stay safe, stay well, stay strong. And we always say, if you're feeling down now, reach out to someone.
Yeah.
I know it's all just words and all fancy. We're not going to put sugarcoat. Just simple. Please call someone and share these feelings, because you can't do this on your own with the type of emotions that we're all experiencing right now. It can't be done by yourself. It's facts.
Yeah.
I don't care how strong you think you are. It will eventually break you, crumble you, or you'll be surprised on who you'll perceive to be at the end of it. I don't know if that made sense, but be careful. Love yous.
See you, everyone.
Au revoir. Adios.